Good evening. Guilty of killing his son, who was only 13 days old, Daniel Sanzone was convicted of murdering baby Joshua by shaking him so violently he caused catastrophic brain damage. The judge described it as a tragic and distressing case. Today, a jury at Birmingham Crown Court also found him guilty of a second charge of cruelty. But the baby's mother, Zoe Howell, was allowed to walk free after the jury cleared her of a charge of causing or allowing her son's death and neglect. Sarah Falkland was in court, so what was the reaction when the verdicts were read out, Sarah?
Well, Daniel Sanzone sat with his head in his hands, as he has done throughout this three-week trial, as the jury foreman stood to deliver that guilty verdict, at which point Zoe Howell's mum, that's Joshua's grandma, said yes from the public gallery. It was a dramatic moment in this most harrowing of trials, where we've had horrific details of the injuries to this young baby. My colleague Ben Godfrey has been looking at the background to the case.
Joshua Millinson was born a bright and healthy baby, but 13 days later he suffered catastrophic brain injuries at the hands of his own father.
It's very difficult to comprehend and understand Sanzone as a character, and what would lead him to do something so tragic to such a vulnerable young child.
Here in the lounge of this house last October, here in Pendiford, Daniel Sanzone violently shook Joshua, leaving him with brain injuries so severe he could no longer hear, see or breathe. He claimed a loud noise heard that night was not him injuring his child, he was simply moving the settee. Joshua's mother, Zoe Howell, had separated from Sanzone just days before his brutal attack. She clutched her baby's toy each day of the trial. She denied causing or allowing her baby's death by effectively turning a blind eye to his violence.
The first year of a child's life is the time in which they are most vulnerable to becoming a victim of homicide, because young children of that age are very demanding. They're very vocal in terms of their needs and having those needs fulfilled. And where you have parents who are unwilling or unable to meet those needs, you've got a potentially dangerous situation.
Here, clutching a brown bag, is Joshua's grandmother, Sharon Howell. And in a recording of a 999 call, you get a sense of the panic as she attempted CPR on the lifeless baby.
I need to know definitely, is he breathing or not?
No, he's not breathing.
It was a 2-week-old male, did you say?
Yeah.
And I need to know definitely that he's not breathing.
He's not breathing, he's not breathing. Oh, God.
Joshua Millinson died at Birmingham Children's Hospital a month later.
Parents know the difference between right and wrong. You'll often see them concealing things, making things up, not attending appointments, and those are all really, really important red flags.
Zoe Howell and Joshua were regularly visited by community midwives in the days after the birth, and they consistently encountered a healthy and alert child. The parents brought Joshua here to A&E at New Cross Hospital on 2 separate occasions in the days before the shaking incident, apparently concerned about breathing difficulties and a possible leg injury. But a junior doctor examined the baby and found no cause for concern, and the parents then failed to show for a follow-up check. But the court was told that a bone specialist had concluded that Joshua may have suffered a catalogue of fractures before those hospital visits. So could the agencies who came into contact with this family and even entered their house have done anything to prevent Joshua's death? A serious case review is underway. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Wolverhampton.
Sarah, did Joshua's mother, Zoe Howell, have anything to say after the case?
Well, she left the court, of course, a free woman. She came down these steps behind me with her mother, who incidentally had also been suspicious of Sanzone's behaviour. But she said no. She just repeated no interviews, clearly still very traumatised. But she'd said to the court that the day that Joshua was born, she felt like her life had begun. And she stressed throughout that if she'd realised Sanzone had been harming her baby, she would have acted on it.
So, Sarah, what sentence do you think Sanzone is likely to get?
A minimum of 15 years is what he'll get, but the judge says he now wants time to reflect on this case coolly and dispassionately before he delivers sentence tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Sarah, thank you. A 75